Hello and welcome to the Virtuous Jedi. My name is Jonathan, and today we are talking about a question that I get a lot, and that is, why would I use a tag or an organization group? What's the difference between the two? Why would I use one versus the other? So let's hop into Virtuous and we'll start talking about some of the similarities as well as when you would use one versus the other. Okay, first we're going to talk about some of the similarities. Now, both tags and organization groups live at the contact level. So if we come in and find a contact here, let's find Bob Builder, our good old trusty Bob Builder, and we'll see right here, tags right here at the very top level. So if I were to add a tag to Bob, let's say do not call, I could add that tag. It's out here at the household level. And then technically, all of the individuals inside that household all have the same tag, but if Bob had another individual on his household, if it was Bob and Linda, Linda would have that tag too, and there'd be no way to say Bob gets the tag and Linda doesn't. So tags kind of live at that very high level on the household, on the organization. And it's the same thing if we're looking at organization groups. Those are going to live at the household level. The whole household, the whole organization, the whole foundation is going to be in that organization group. We don't have a way to split out individuals. So if we look over here at our organization groups, I've got one here, it's John's group. And you'll see here, each one of these is a full contact record. It's not individual. So both ways are grabbing the contact itself and not necessarily individuals inside of that contact record. So you might look at that and say, well, they're both doing the same thing. We're grabbing a group of people together, household, organization, or foundation records. We're grabbing those whole entire contact records and grouping them together. And that's true, but tags kind of end their functionality at that point. They're literally just a reference point on a contact, a way to group similar contacts together. Organization groups have some additional functionality that really gets more powerful. It just depends on if that is the type of thing that you are needing for your specific use case. So first thing you'll see when we're on this organization group, I can assign a team member to an organization group. Can't do that with a tag. So in this case, I've assigned myself, this user Jonathan May, and I'm the owner basically of this organization group. And then I've got 11 contacts assigned here. Now for me, I'm the admin. That's not going to really change anything. But say Jonathan is actually one of our team members. He's actually working specifically with these 11 contacts. All that he really cares about when he logs into Virtuous are these 11 contacts, and he's not really concerned about the rest. Right here, you'll see under the heading Limit Contacts, that is set to yes. So on my account level right now, because I am assigned to this organization group and Limit Contacts is set to yes, and we can edit that here or in the team preferences in the main settings panel. But on my user record, I'm saying assign all of the people in John's group to this user, so in this case, Jonathan, and then limit those contacts by group. So what's going to happen here is if I go to my contacts, clicking on all contacts over here in the sidebar, there's only 11. I have a lot more than 11 contacts in the system, but now I'm limited by the people that are in my group. I can only see these 11. If I were to come back to the organization groups, click back in here and change that setting, if I said, actually, Jonathan can see everybody, we're not going to limit him by what is in that group. Now, when you go to all contacts, we'll see the 465 contacts that are in this database. So it's very helpful when you're trying to restrict a specific user's access. Maybe it's a board member that has some very specific people that they're cultivating, but they don't need to see everybody in your database. Or maybe you have some people on your team that are writing out handwritten cards or something along those lines. They might need to see contact information, but and then maybe just a subsection of your database, but they don't need to see everything. So that's when organization groups really shine. The second thing about an organization group that's different if I click into one of these contacts that's assigned to this group, I actually see the organization group right here at the top of the screen. So right at a glance, when I get to a contact record, I can see, oh, this contact is a part of a team member's organization group. So again, that's really helpful when you have people on your team that are managing, like a major donor portfolio or something like that. You're actually able to see that really quickly. Whereas a tag, you're going to have to scroll down and be a little bit more intentional to make sure that you're looking to see what tags are applied. Another thing about tags is if you have a lot of tags in your database, you might have noticed this. Virtuous will only show so many tags at a time. And then after that limit is reached, there's a little show more button. So again, it's possible that the tag that is important might not show up at the top, might be buried a little bit deeper in the tool. So when it comes to things that are important to see, the grouping is important for you to see really quickly. That's another reason that you might use an organization group, even if you aren't limiting contacts by or limiting your team members to only see certain contacts. You might use an organization group. You might opt to use that organization group just for this alone, just this little pillbox up here at the top that says, hey, this contact is in this organization group, and that's important. Another reason why organization groups are really handy is when it comes to the gift ask pipeline. So recently, Virtuous actually added a couple extra features around the gift ask pipeline. So if we come over here to gifts and choose our gift ask pipeline, if you are a user who has access to a organization group, you've been assigned to an organization group, when you come to this gift ask pipeline and you click on the portfolio tab here at the top, it's actually going to show you the activity from the people that you are specifically connected with. So again, where it says assigned contacts, there's 11 of them. Those are the exact same 11 that are in my organization group. And then I can look at just my people's giving over the last 7 to 14 days just to have a finger on the pulse of what's happening there. And I'm also just able to see if I'm using those gift asks, I'm able to see my upcoming asks as well for just the people that I'm following. So this is a really helpful view for your major gift officers, the people that are actively cultivating and curating those donor lists. And then you have the ability here to change your view. You can look at it kind of in the little card view as a grid, or more of a Excel spreadsheet style view here, where you can see just all of the people that are in your list, some of the important things about them, and then of course these giving overviews here at the top. So those are some of the main differences between tags and organization groups. My rule of thumb would be, if the reason that you're adding the grouping to your contacts is just because you need a quick way to filter on them for a query, a mailing list, like the communication preferences, do not mail, don't email, those type of things, all of that perfectly suited for tags. That's what they exist for. But if you have a list of people that maybe it's a very special list, some type of special cultivation list, some type of major donor list, and you need that a little bit more visible, organization groups are a great fit. If you need to restrict a team member's access to only certain people, certain contacts in your database, organization groups are a great fit. And if you want to take advantage of this portfolio feature, obviously organization groups are going to be perfect for that. So one other unique kind of hidden feature about organization groups that you may not be aware of is that you can actually link a project to an organization group. So this might be helpful if you have maybe a missionary organization and missionaries are raising their own support. They've got their own project in Virtuous, and every gift that goes to that project, they need to be able to manage those donors. You might have other situations that kind of follow that similar pattern. A project is assigned to an individual on your team that has a login to Virtuous, and they only really need to see those people who are giving to that project. So in this case, let's go over to our projects section. And let's just say, for sake of the demonstration today, let's say that this Winter Youth Outreach, this is my project. I own it. I need to know who all the people who are donating to that project are, and I need to have maybe my view in Virtuous limited to just those. So I can come and edit this project and select project owners. I'll select myself. Make sure you click this little plus, otherwise it won't save. And we'll click Save Project. Now I can go to the Import tool. We'll do a new gift import. We'll enter those gifts manually. And let's go and find someone who is not already in this organization group. Let's do Samantha and Pedro Phillips. When I select them, you'll see here, no organization group assigned. So let's add a gift. We'll add it for that specific project for the Winter Youth Outreach, $200. Go ahead and save and close and import. So once that imports, we'll review our data. Let's look at that contact record now. It should say, oh, there it is, John's group. So they were not in any organization group. We added a gift on their record that was assigned to a project. That project had me as an owner. I was attached to an organization group. So when that gift got added, Virtuous went ahead and added this contact record to my organization group. So now when I go to that group, back to John's group over here, now we'll see, oh, there's 12 people, 12 contacts instead of 11. So that could be a really helpful feature if that's the type of use case that you have, and definitely one of those that gets a little buried underneath all the other tools that Virtuous has to offer. So just wanted to point that one out real quick. All right, there we have it. That is the difference between organization groups and tags in Virtuous, some different use cases for both. I hope that you found the video helpful, and if you've got any questions, be sure to leave those in the comments below. If you've got any ideas for other videos that you would love to see, definitely let me know. And until next time, may the fundraising force be with you.